For reflections, reflections are basically flips. The image will be flipped, a mirror image, over a reflection line. It will be in the same spot, just over on the other side. To reflect over the x-axis, you must go up or down. The y-coordinate becomes the opposite of the original. To reflect over the y-axis, you must go left or right. The x-coordinate becomes the opposite of the original. Here's why. The x-axis is here. If you took this image and flipped it over the x-axis, it went down. That's what we mean by flipping it over the x-axis. It goes up or down. To flip over the y-axis runs top to bottom, north to south. You have to go left to right to flip. So you're changing where it is on this line, the x-axis. That's why you mess with the x-coordinate, because it's traveling along this x-axis here. This is traveling along that y-axis, the y-axis. So, where would the coordinate 3, 4 be if it was reflected over the y-axis? So if you take it from here and flip it over here, you did not change where you were on this. You're still right there. What you changed was where you were on the x. So we need to change the x. So, to flip it over, we said it was going to be in the same spot, just on the other side. What coordinates with 3? Same distance from 0. -3. So that's where your new coordinate would be, -3, 4. It would flip over here to the -3, and it'd be at 4. Where would the coordinate -5, 6 be if it was reflected over the x-axis? Well, let's think about how it's traveling. It's going over the x, which means it stays in the same spot for the x-coordinate. Stays right there. What changes is where it's at on the y. So the x is going to stay the same. It's still here. But it's on the opposite side now of the y. So the y-intercept, the y-coordinate is going to change. So what's on the other side of -6? +6. So this would be my new coordinate. So let's look at this rule when it comes to a figure. You have 4 points on this figure, A, B, C, and D. A sits at 2, 3. B sits at 3, 3. C sits at 4, 1. And D is at 2, 1. We are going to reflect over the x-axis. So they're still going to be in these locations at the 2, 3, and 4. So the x is going to stay the same. But we're going to go the opposite side. So the A is not going to be at 3 anymore. It's going to flip over and be at the -3. All of these are going to flip over and be in on the opposite side. So it's not going to be at the 3 anymore. It's going to be at the -3. This one's not going to be at the 1. It's going to be at the -1. This one's not going to be at the 1. It's going to be at the -1. So here you have your new coordinates. Don't forget to put prime since it's the new one. It's reflected. So now we're going to take our A, B, C, D. I'm just going to write the exact same coordinates because we're going back to the original image, and this time we're going to reflect it over the y-axis. So now we're not flipping over the x, we're flipping over the y. When you flip over the y, your y coordinate stays the same. It's always going to be 3 here for A and B, and it's always going to be 1 here for D and C. The only difference is we're not going to be at 2 for A anymore for the x. We're going to be at -2. So we need to change all of our x's when you flip over the y-intercept. So I'm doing the opposite of all these x's. The y coordinate stays the same. So now we have our new image. Our new image.